Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Let's Be Blunt. Got some special guests with us here today. In traveling in the world and traveling around for this business, you meet some very interesting people, and these folks are no different. We were traveling to Charleston, West Virginia on another shoot a couple weeks ago, and we stopped by a friend's store, Crystal and George of Purple Leaf, up in Charleston, West Virginia, or Huntington, Charleston. Anyway, I meet these wonderful people here. We did a quick interview, and we're going to meet them here in a minute. You want to introduce yourselves real quick? What's your name?
My name is Jordan Douglas.
My name is Baruch Zagaloon.
This is my wife, Baruch.
All right. So for those listening, I heard what you heard. So it's a very interesting name.
It's B.
There we go. She goes by B.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to try to pronounce it myself. It's a beautiful name. It just
Slight tongue roll.
Yeah. I'm sure it takes practice. But anyway, amazing couple here. They are in this business and they have a great story to tell. And ultimately, I want them to tell their story and how they got here and about their products and all. But they're in the CBD business. And I met them. They had a great story, and I'm going to let them tell you their story. So ultimately, you guys, husband and wife, right?
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife. How long y'all been married now?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. Awesome.
Right, yeah.
So your story is not very local, right? Your story begins...
Our story began in Saudi Arabia, where we met. Mm-hmm. So we were in Saudi Arabia together, and my business partner just had this idea one day to say, hey, man, we should get into extracting CBD. It's a new crave. It's going to be amazing. Let's do it. And her and I were just dating at the time. And, my partner basically talked me into this, leaving my life behind. I'm a 16-year aviation mechanic and getting into this business. And when we pulled the trigger, her and I were just dating, like I said, and I couldn't fathom the idea of leaving her behind. So I was on Snapchat. Actually, I proposed to her on Snapchat because I was in America and told her, I said, hey, this is happening. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to do this company. And I got down on one knee, had my friend record it, and said, listen, I can't leave without you. Will you marry me? And she said yes, and we came here and we put our life savings into an extraction company, Blue Ridge Extractions.
I love it. So what, besides that's a beautiful story.
Thank
awesome.
You.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
But what compelled you ultimately? Your friend is just that good at selling, or what compelled you to get into it?
Honestly, you can't lie. The money was gigantic in the beginning, but I've always loved the cannabis plant. I don't smoke myself, but I did smoke a lot of hemp. I have neuropathy in my foot, so I was taking CBD. I was bringing it back to Saudi Arabia in my socks because it's not allowed, and I got a lot of relief from it. So when he showed me what we could do with it and how we could cultivate it ourselves, extract it ourselves, bottle it ourselves, I was so jazzed. My mind just changed gears. I went from being
just a big love story.
That's
fell
right.
in love with
Everything.
the lady plant and the lady from Saudi Arabia.
I was in love with helicopters for 16 years, and the 3 months the build up to leaving Saudi Arabia to come here to do the business, I was just like, nah, I'm done with all that. I've just completely changed my focus on
that's a powerful move, man. Definitely, that's a big move. So you touched on something about not being able to take this to Saudi Arabia. You want to talk about how is then and now, what is the stance on cannabis in Saudi Arabia? Like, is it still frowned upon? Is it accepted? Forbidden completely. Hemp and everything? Everything.
Anything related to cannabis is considered drug.
Sure. So I guess a very harsh penalty, probably.
Harsh penalty if you get caught bringing it in.
Okay.
If you get caught bringing it in, it's literally...
Is there an underground culture there, like, still, or is it?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Okay, because I don't know many cultures. Even the most strict ones, like there's still access. You can't keep the plant down.
No.
Sure. You can't throw a stone without hitting someone that sells it.
So you're from Saudi Arabia. Where are you from?
I'm from, Washington State, kind of. I guess I've lived everywhere. I'm kind of a rolling stone. I traveled a lot with my family as a child, and then I joined the military, and I traveled even more. And then I left the military and became an international contractor and just kept on.
Where'd y'all meet it? Where'd y'all cross paths?
We crossed paths in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
We actually met on Tinder, and we had our first Tinder date and together, and we have not separated since that first date.
That's a beautiful thing. The odds of that happening still.
That like 1 in a million.
It always fascinates me, man. Serendipity and truly I think things happen like they're supposed to. I mean, just for the odds of all of us sitting in this room right now is incredible. And I think, again, it's a test of the beauty of this plant and how it brings people together ultimately. So Now you're in the business.
Now we're in the business.
Trials and tribulations. Decided to get in. You're in it. Everything's good to go, or it's been a bumpy ride.
It's been a bumpy road because we decided that we wanted to focus on extraction.
Sure.
So we wanted to do wholesale oils, and the market was gigantic, and we put all of our ducks in a row. We always wanted to do our own retail product line, but that was down the road. We wanted to spend a year making money, learning how to do the equipment, how to run the machines, get our formulas down, and then the plan was to take all that knowledge and then jump into the retail side. And bumpy road was when all the wholesale oils they took a 1,000% decrease. When we came here, it was $3,000 for a liter of crude, and now it's about $300 for a liter of crude. So basically, I was making my own tinctures for myself out of our crude oil, and I was making. She has Crohn's disease, so I was making tinctures for her. We weren't seeing the benefit in the wholesale oil side. I said, "Well, look, guys, I've already been kind of tinkering with it,
right.
So let's just jump into it. Let's just go big." And Blue Ridge Extractions was born. We just created it.
I love it, and that seems to be what this plant and this business does to you. It has the allure, but once you get in it, it is almost a love fest. It's almost
passionate.
It's a passion.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me. There's plenty of times I've wanted to walk away with, not just the fights we fight to keep it or to even have it, but ultimately the fights of educating people and then just the normal fights of normal business. So it's a lot in this industry, but the lack of regulation and these gray area laws is what cause these huge peaks and valleys in this business, and people don't realize how hard it is to ride that as a business owner. Because when something brings a vast amount of money and it goes to almost worthless in a less than a year's time, which a lot of us faced, it was devastating. A lot of companies do not exist anymore, and a lot of people are fighting to stay alive.
Closing, definitely.
Yeah, but I think that's where regulation could come in, and with a little regulation and keep a steady market price and quality bar kind of to meet, it'd be good. So now we're in this business. You guys are, funny enough, all these world travels, you're now in West Virginia.
Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah, we're in West Virginia.
Right, culture shock.
Yeah.
I was excited to come to America. Right. I went to West Virginia.
I can't even imagine.
It's a beautiful state.
It is.
Beautiful people. They've been really good to us. But, we had to make some adjustments because I lived in Dubai and I've lived in Jeddah. I've lived in Los Angeles. And West Virginia was very different, But man,
funny enough, that was like my first real time stopping in West Virginia when I was coming through.
Was it?
Well, it's definitely different. It's beautiful, but
very beautiful.
It feels kind of time capsule-ish, very time stopped at a certain period there. But the people again were very nice. They accepted us. We had all our cannabis shirts on and everything.
Yeah, you guys got a great logo.
Yeah, appreciate it. And everybody, we were well received. And the lady, even at that restaurant at the time, we went to a place, Jim's up there. It's an 82-year-old restaurant. Lady been a waitress, Austin, 30-something years maybe. So she tells all these stories, but she was telling us a story about her mother and dementia and how cannabis ultimately helped her dementia. So it was a great story for her to tell us. But they all came up individually, introduced themselves, and talked about how cannabis in their lives. And
on that note, kind of like when you're talking about how you want to walk away sometimes because this happens, and we feel that a lot too. Sometimes let's just throw the towel. We're killing ourselves, And then someone calls me and says, "Hey, my daughter has epilepsy and she's taking your product and she hasn't had a seizure in 3 weeks." And then you just get this euphoria, or hey, my friend calls me, "Hey, Jordan, I took your product and I haven't had a Xanax pill in 2 weeks because of your product." And you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing.
I never get tired of those stories.
Never. And
it is the stories that keep me going as well. And I think it's across the board. Because sometimes you start wondering too. You listen to the haters, you listen to the naysayers, and you start wondering it's a placebo effect and all this other things. You go, oh, well maybe, and then you start it, but you legitimately, even for myself, I can tell slight and small changes within my body and aches and pains and things Absolutely. When I am not fully fulfilled in my cannabinoid taking in. So
that's exactly what happened to me. I maybe up until 2 years ago, I didn't know what CBD was, and now I kind of stop it.
Right. She doesn't take it. Right. She literally oh babe,
Every day.
Pain. She has pain in her intestines.
It is funny because I see it with all of our customers, and even myself and my lovely wife. Hi, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. She had a sciatic nerve or whatever pain in her back and her lower back area and her side. And literally, I was like, of course you've taken CBD, right? Because she went through this for like 2 weeks. And she's like, I was like, come on. So she dosed up immediately, put some salve on it and everything. And within 30 minutes, it was gone. And I'm like, look, if I have to keep reconvincing you and myself, like, I'm never going to win this battle. But she's actually one of our best customers now. So she's back on it. And I do it myself. I find myself not being able to sleep well, or I'm waking up in the middle of the night, or I'm finding, I have knees and feet issues from being overweight and playing sports. But I start feeling it, or the rain's coming with the arthritis sometimes, and I'm like, I need to take my CBD. It's almost like a built-in reminder. But I could say it all day long, but until you see it for yourself, or try it for yourself, or hear it for yourself, it's hard to believe. It's like, what is this, another snake oil? We hear that term all the time.
All the time, man.
All the time.
I mean, I'm a living proof myself. You know, I have a lifetime supply of ibuprofen from the VA for my foot. And I was eating that stuff like candy.
Too, by the way. What service you told me before?
I was in the U.S. Navy.
U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service.
I eat that like candy, and everyone knows that causes stomach cancer over time. And
sure.
It's poison. It's poison. My friend just said to me one time, "Hey, try a CBD," and I was like, "No, I don't like to get high."
Right.
And so actually, the first one I got CBD was one of the Stanley brothers. So I met John Stanley down in Colombia, down in Medellin, Colombia. He's the owner of Charlotte's Web. Right. Wonderful product. And he was the first one that said, "Hey man, try the CBD." And I was like, "No, I don't want to get high. I don't trust it." And he was like, "No man, just take it." And I took it with him. I hung out for like maybe 3 or 4 days, and literally on the third or fourth day of being around him and taking his bottle, my pain just went away. The swelling in my foot went away, the burning sensation went away, and I became a believer almost immediately. And
you start guessing, you start second guessing again. It's like, am I really? Hold up, and then sure enough, stop taking it. It comes back. But that's really cool. So let's talk a little bit about your product. Right now, you have a tincture line. Yeah,
we have a tincture line right now. We're just getting started.
Grown in West Virginia.
Everything's grown in West Virginia. We single sourced all of our hemp from one farmer down in Charleston. His name's Woody Cook. Shout out to Woody. He grew some of the most amazing buds I've ever seen in my life. He grew hempers too. Beautiful. He came down. He called us and said, "Hey, I would like to run a 50/50 split extraction company. Can we come down and do a deal?" We said, "Yeah, sure. Come on down." He brought us not biomass. He brought us boxes of just beautiful, thick, dense, heavy nuggets. And we said to him, we said, "Hey, we shouldn't run this. This isn't biomass. This is so good. You should keep it." And his words were, "Well, boys, I don't want to disappoint you." And what came out of our machines was just absolute medicine. I mean, the CBG, the CBN count is for crude oil is just through the roof. Right. And so we used that in our medicine, and I feel like we just got lucky. Yeah. It became a strain. The oil was coming out, was beautiful, and I don't know. That guy really changed our life for us, because he's the reason why we have this amazing product.
That is cool, and again, just the chances of everyone coming together on that collaboration.
Just coming together.
Name of the company again, Blue Ridge Extractions. Blue Ridge Extractions. Where can they find your products?
So right now we're mostly based in West Virginia. We're in quite a bit of stores. 2 of our best stores is probably Two Sisters Hemp Boutique in Clarksburg. Another good store of ours is Wink and Son Hemp in Wheeling. And then also the Purple Leaf. Shout out to Crystal and George. They are amazing people. We're now in their store. And we are on the move. We're embarking on a 9-state road trip to try to promote our company. We're going to be on the road, starting here in beautiful Charlotte. And then we're going to head down to South Carolina. We're going to head down to Georgia, Florida, across to Alabama, up to Tennessee, Kentucky, into Ohio, and just a big giant circle.
It's a beautiful trip. I've made that trip in different ways and times, but that's really cool. Where can they find you? Just on that website? Also, we have
a website as well. So the website is Blue Ridge Extractions. But if you type it in, there's only one E because the 2 E's look funny between the extractions and the ridge. Yeah. So Blue Ridge Extractions with 1 E. You can find a website there. She's
Instagram.
She was the awesome developer. If people say who's your developer,
where we find you on Instagram.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
Blue Ridge Extractions with 1 E also.
At Blue Ridge Extractions with 1 E.
Okay, awesome. So that's a really cool source. So you guys are going to be traveling. So really, 3 years ago, not even in the scope. This wasn't even a thing.
No, man. I was trying to make director of maintenance for my company and trying to move up out of the toolbox and into management, which I successfully done. Honestly, if I would have stuck around, I would be the site manager of all of Jetta right now.
Sure.
And now I'm so happy that I left.
I remember going to my wife when I made this decision to get this business, and I'm like, look, I'm either going to end up in jail or rich, and so far so far neither.
That's the best way to put it, brother. I'm going to be in jail or rich. Right. I'll take those odds.
I don't know because we tap dance around this this gray area where the DEA stepped out and said it's now under the USDA, and now the DEA's want to come back and mingle in our doings again, affairs again, and change the rules in the middle of the game. And that's what we face in this industry is complete uncertainty. Like, and then as you're trying to build a business with your wife and travel around the country and getting more carriers and more vendors, but
they were going to destroy us.
Yeah. I mean, literally the new DEA ruling could completely eliminate this whole industry. Gone. They are ultimately trying to go after little loopholes, D8, Delta 8, Delta 11, 10, all these 10, TACV, all these different loopholes that ultimately lead to a more euphoric feeling from this plant. Ultimately, the whole plant has a 0 body count to date.
That's right.
No one's died from this ever, and we're still arguing its legality, and they're still saying it's Schedule 1, meaning no medical
Which is
value
unbelievable,
at all.
you know.
Meanwhile, we have an FDA-approved drug from cannabis.
Yep.
Complete hypocrisy. Anyway, don't even get me started. That's
another episode.
That's another episode.
Well, that rule is too. They're really targeting extractors.
Sure.
So the whole business as a whole, but really, if it comes into effect, we're the first ones to go. They're going to go after us. They're going to raid our facilities and you got .031, man, you're going to jail, or we're going to confiscate your business, and it's not. I think,
and this is just my opinion. I'm sitting here looking at you guys. I think you guys, the Blue Ridge thing's cool, but y'all need to bring some little Saudi Arabia American kind of vibe to a new label or feel.
Or maybe like a new product line. We should do something kind of BB cream.
It's kind of like me. It's like I became the face of Charlotte CBD just kind of naturally. It's not what I chose or wanted, but when you have a certain persona or a certain story to tell, I think you guys do. It's definitely interesting because you meet a little bit of everyone in this business, and it's amazing to hear everyone's background and what got us here. But it seems like once we get here, it feels like we've been here forever.
And we're all family.
We're all family.
I mean, everywhere we go, we just click.
I can tell you 90% of the people in my life started like this. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, we realize all the way from Saudi Arabia, all the way from Washington State, which might as well both be foreign countries to me, being from North Carolina.
True.
Look how far we all traveled, and ultimately the common denominator is a plant.
It's a wonderful plant,
right.
man.
So why are we fighting this? It's killing me. So what's the future hold for you guys? And new product line?
New product line. Expansion? Expansion is our biggest thing. Right now, we're just trying to get in more shops and get some more tread and more traction of our brand. And we really want to expand into the gummy market. The edibles is such a big market to be in. And
it sure is.
Some people can't, they don't like the taste of tinctures. And we want them to enjoy what we extract, so we got to try to put in gummies. Dog treats are huge too. I mean, we're both avid dog lovers, so I mean, right now the future just holds. Give us a few months. Right now we got tinctures and creams, but eventually we're gonna have everything. You name it, we're gonna have it.
First cannabis experience in life. We'll start with you. How old? When? Want to share it, Put you on the spot. What about you? First time you ever tried?
Me and my best friend Donnie Sutton used to steal his dad's butt weed. He used to get Mexican brickweed, bammer weed in Washington. We used to take it out of his.
Me too.
Right? He used to have it in a garbage bag under his bed. We used to go roll these little pinner joints and be like, hey, are you high, man? I don't know, but it feels awesome. So I wasn't even a teenager yet when I was smoking my first weed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about you? Still no? I remember my first hash experience. That was a new experience in itself, for sure.
Right.
I was like 10 or 11 for right after actually the DARE program, the drug resistance education, whatever. Yeah. That actually sparked my interest. And then they actually burned a little bit in the classroom, and immediately I was like, damn, that's what my mom smells like. And then I was like mad that because they're telling me we're gonna lose everything we own, and she's gonna die a drug addict and all this other stuff. So I'll go home mad, and my mom's real. She keeps it real with me. It's like, no, this is what it does. Alcohol does those things to you.
Alcohol does those things.
So luckily, my mom, shout out to mom, kept me on that path of what's real, what's not. But ultimately, I found one of her roaches right after the DARE class, and it made me want to try it. Once I smoked it, I was like, oh no, this is me.
Legit. Yeah.
And honestly, now almost 40 years, I'll be 40 years old this year. Cannabis has been a part of my life the entire time, and I've achieved everything I've ever wanted. except for the weight loss. I'm working on that one. I got it before, but I'm working on that one.
You'll get there.
But ultimately, man, it's, I try to bring that legitimacy to everything I do to show you can be a user of this plant and still be a productive citizen. You can still be a successful person, company, etc. And I think we need more people like us to show that, hey, there's a legitimate business side to this, and there's real families, real stories, real people, passionate people that care about quality products.
Man, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
There needs to be more education, like you're saying.
Sure.
He said he didn't know CBD, he didn't want to get high, and I was like, what the hell is CBD?
Right.
True.
People don't know that it doesn't set you back, it actually makes you
It's
better.
medicine, man. It's medicine.
And and complete honesty, being a lifetime cannabis user, I didn't realize what CBD was till about 3 years ago myself.
Yeah.
But once I heard it, the first thing I heard is, hey, this is a way for us to start our dispensary in a loophole. So I didn't even think about it. And of course, I walk in, my first question is like everyone else's. Well, what does it do? Does it get you high? No, it doesn't get you high. Well, what the hell's the point?
We can do that.
Right. And the first stuff we bought looked like grass clippings and smelled the same. And it was like, why would people want this?
Yeah.
And as the market and the industry grew, and in the beginning too, there's some stuff that might not have been as compliant as we wanted as well. So I think people were a bit buzzed in the beginning.
We've seen that quite a bit.
Right.
Can you get more of that flower? No, the other flower.
Right, that one was a little hot.
It was better.
But ultimately, it's been just the same journey for us. It's every day. I feel like multiple personalities. It's like it's like every day. It's like we win, we lose, and it still feels like that every day. We know several companies now, distribution company, retail stores, and everything. We're still waiting on final rulings of the DEA and to figure out who's our governing body of the FDA or the USDA.
That's what's important, right?
Yeah. So
I don't understand why they're trying to fight it so much. I remember being like 12 and asking my dad, we were watching a movie and I was seeing them smoking weed. I was like, Dad, why is alcohol legal but weed is not?
I still ask that question 40 years later.
I don't understand
myself. More destruction. My father is not alive today. He passed away when I was 4 months old, ultimately because of alcoholism. He had PTSD from the war before they knew what it was. And alcoholism ultimately took his life. And that's what I grew up knowing. And I had a mother that got up every day and worked her absolute ass off and stayed high as a kite the whole time. Yeah. So I was like, something's not adding. Either my mom is Superwoman, or they're lying to me, which is a little bit of both. I think my mom's a little bit of Superwoman, and they're definitely lying to us.
I have the same story, man. I lost my dad alcoholism. My mom was the same way.
And it's all too common. But not once, and I lost my parent, my cousin, anybody to weed. Never. We got one politician in North Carolina that swears his son died because of cannabis. But ultimately, from what I hear, meth took his life, and he says that cannabis was the gateway. And ultimately,
I hate that
Jimmy
word.
Dixon, he is one of the people that's ultimately fighting to keep this plant illegal in the state. So we've tried to educate him. We're trying, and I'm sure talk about pharmaceutical drugs. I'm sure but I've lost dozens of friends to opiates, to legal prescribed, trusting in a doctor opiates.
I've lost three.
Yeah. I think I'm around the 20 mark with some, at least personal people I know, my wife and I both. And these are good people that ultimately were looking to a trusted doctor for pain relief.
And they thought they were doing the right thing. The doctor said, take it, and so they feel like they're not doing anything wrong. And next thing you know, they're stealing from their mom's purse. And
ultimately great people.
Great people.
So I'm tired of seeing that. Of course I want to make money. Of course I love getting high. But we need access to this to fight all these things. And I've heard everything. Just the lady with her mom with dementia, a friend of ours, Kendra, her daughter, relief of lifelong, constant, consistent seizures. People with Parkinson's disease. I've seen the tremors stop or subside almost within moments. I've seen it.
They take it.
And how do you deny that?
You can't. Exactly.
So ultimately, you guys got a wonderful product. It's got some love in it. It's a tough market again, and give these guys some love. I tried it. It's definitely a great product. We're full at Charlotte CBD. We're always trying to work in new products, but
we'll get there.
We're working. Give these guys some love. Give it a try.
Yeah.
They're making their rounds. Where's the next stop? Where's tomorrow?
So right now, after we're done with Charlotte, I think we're spending Charlotte a couple more days. Okay. And then we're going to head up towards the Raleigh, Durham area, kind of that big giant circle. And then after that, we'll probably get out of North Carolina and start heading down towards South Carolina.
go where it's warmer as the fall comes in.
Yeah,
And
we'll probably get down there towards Columbia and stuff. Columbia, South Carolina, we're coming to get you. Look out for us.
So,
pretty excited about that.
So you fly in together or separate? You fly in separate to America for the first time?
Yeah.
Separate, yeah, because she had to get a visa.
Okay.
So
first impression, feet hit the soil.
Ooh, I hit New York.
City.
Wow,
we're going to New York City.
That is a great.
I rented a suite in Times Square.
Oh man.
Yeah. I picked her up in one of those fancy like limousine trucks, and like, hey, welcome to America, babe.
You did it right.
I mean, if you're gonna come to America, you should go to you should be New York, right?
Hey, listen.
Statue of
If you
Liberty.
haven't been to America, you are doing yourself a disjustice. There's truly nothing like else on earth.
Yeah.
It's an incredible place.
It's so different.
Yeah, it's so different.
It's like many countries.
It is, and I can't believe weed's not legal there yet. They're working on it. Come on, we need it. I'm ready to. My wife wants a condo in Brooklyn so bad.
We should link them together, man. Or maybe we should.
It's an amazing place. It feeds the soul, the culture, and everything. So, but ultimately. Thank you guys for telling your story.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, man. This has been fantastic. We love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. We're going to do a live episode next time they come through. Tell a little more. Yeah, get them ready. Check them out on Instagram. Great people. I hope you guys visit anytime you're back.
That's right. We'll come back.
Yeah,
come back.
We're all traveling. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to Let's Be Blunt. You can find us at letsbeblunt.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We're expanding our platform to Spotify, Apple Music, everything. But ultimately, to get the links to all that, just go to letsbeblunt.org. Find their story, many more stories on there. We're going to be heavy on the educational piece, heavy on the backstories. We're going to bring real life personas to this industry and show you why we do this and who we do it for. But thank you all for joining us. We love you. One love.